On yesterday lecture, I completed common base configuration. So same way we'll do common emitter configurations. We'll find current amplification factor. We'll find expression for collector current, and we'll see input and output characteristics for common emitter configuration. So if you understood this common base, then this one becomes easier. Okay. So this is the common emitter configurations. So this first diagram that is for NPN transistor according to this arrowhead taken on emitter. This arrowhead taken on emitter, that is inverse. So it is called the PNP transistor. Okay. So this VBB and VCC, that is bias voltage. So its magnitude is such that keeps this input circuit is in forward bias, and this output circuit is in forward or reverse bias accordingly. Okay, whatever mode is used, active, cutoff, or saturation. Okay, so current always flows from positive to negative. So you can see the direction of current IB, IE, same, positive to negative. So you can see the direction of current IC. Okay, positive to the negative. Same here, direction will change according to this PNP transistor. According to positive, negative, IB and IE, that is upward and outward. This IC also on right hand side direction. Now here we have current amplification factor beta. So beta is nothing but ratio of output current to the input current. So which is the output current here in the circuit diagram?
IC.
Yes, IC, and this IB is your input current. So it is, you can say, change in collector current to the change in base current, or for the DC values, we are considering this beta equal to IC upon IB. So you should know this relation. If you want to find IC or IB, if beta is given, then accordingly you can find this IC and IB. Okay. So this is delta IC upon delta IB, but for DC values, we are considering beta equal to IC upon IB. And this beta value, practically it lies between 20 to 500. Okay, so you should remember this is, you will be asked in MCQ also. Alpha value is 0.9 to 0.99. Okay, and this is 20 to 500 beta value, that its ranges that lies between 20 to 500. Now there is one relation between beta and alpha. So we know this beta equal to delta IC upon delta IB, whereas alpha equal to IC upon IE. And also we know I equal to IB plus IC. Okay, so or we can write this change in emitter current delta I equal to delta IB plus delta IC. So rearranging this delta IB equal to, we can write delta E minus delta IC. Now substituting the values of delta IB in expression 1. So this is the expression on beta equal to delta IC upon delta IB. So beta equal to delta IC upon this delta E minus delta IC in place of delta IB. So dividing the numerator and denominator of RHS of expression 3 by delta IE, we get, just divide on right hand side. So beta equal to delta IC upon delta E divided by delta E upon delta E minus delta IC upon delta IE. Okay. But we know delta IC upon delta IE is equal to alpha. So this is alpha in numerator, and in denominator this becomes 1 minus alpha. Okay. Okay. So this relation.
Yes, sir.
So this configuration is very important. Okay, common emitter configurations. It is used in 90 to 95% of transistor application, means power electronics applications. So this configuration is used, common emitter connections. We are getting high current gain, high voltage gain, high power gain, and moderate output to impedance ratio. So due to having the moderate output to impedance ratio, we can connect couple of transistors back to back. Okay. Now we have to find collector current, that is output current. Okay. So In common emitter circuit, IB is the input current, IC is the output current. So we know IE equal to IB plus IC. So IC is equal to, we can write alpha E plus IC BO. So this equations, why this equation is written IC is equal to alpha E plus IC BO? We already found this, okay? IC is equal to alpha E plus ICBO in common base connections, okay? So in expression 2, IC is equal to alpha E plus ICBO. So just we are substituting this I equal to IB plus IC plus ICBO. This ICBO is your leakage current, okay? Collector base current with emitter open. Now, for the common emitter connections, we will get another leakage current. Okay, so that I will show you this ICO. Is it visible, this ICO? Is it visible, this ICO current?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this ICO, that is collector emitter current with base open. So you can see this in the diagram here, base, that is your input, so base open. So even though base open, the collector emitter current flows in reverse direction. So that is your leakage current for the common emitter connections. Whereas for the common base, we have ICBO, collector base current with emitter open. So here IC is equal to alpha E plus ICBO, where I equal to IB plus IC. So I am substituting here in the equation. So IC, this I am this alpha IC I am shifting on LHS side. So IC 1 minus alpha is equal to alpha IB plus ICBO. So now 1 minus alpha I am shifting on RHS side. So IC is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha IB plus 1 upon 1 minus alpha ICBO. So from the expression 3, it is apparent that if IB equal to 0, means base circuit is open, it is given in circuit diagram, the collector current will be the current to the emitter. So this is abbreviated as ICO, meaning collector emitter current with base open. So this ICO, that is your leakage current. So we can write this ICO is equal to 1 upon 1 minus alpha into ICBO. Okay, so this second term, that is your ICO. So that can be written as 1 upon 1 minus alpha into ICBO when IB equal to 0. So this equation, that this term becomes 0. So this is your leakage current. So that is 1 upon 1 minus alpha into ICBO. Now substituting the values of 1 upon 1 minus alpha ICBO is equal to ICO in expression 3. So we have IC is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha IB plus ICEO. So IC is equal to beta. So this is nothing but beta. Beta equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha. So beta IB plus ICO. Okay. So this is your expression for common emitter connection. Okay. In common base, what we have get, IC is equal to alpha E plus ICBO. Here IC is equal to beta IB plus ICO. Okay, so by referring these equations, you can just understand easily what you have to write here. Okay, here according to the input and output current, IC is equal to alpha E plus ICBO. Here we need to write in IB, it is your input current. So this beta is current amplification, so beta into IB plus this leakage current for common emitter configurations. So any doubt for this expression? So when you ask this common emitter configuration, so draw any diagram, okay, either NPN or PNP, it's okay. Then start writing from this base, this current amplification factor. You can also write this beta and alpha relation. So that will be useful. Directly you can write here, okay, in this expression. Then start writing for this expression of collector current up to this IC equal to beta IB plus ICO. Okay, if you do not want to draw this diagram for leakage current, then you can mention this ICO is collector emitter current with base open, so that is your leakage current. Okay, so that you can write also in word for this ICO, this ICBO for common base connections. Any doubt regarding to this common emitter configuration? Now you have to plot input and output characteristics. So you can say this input we have IB current and VBB battery. Okay, so this is the curve between IB VBB, and here we have collector current IC and this is VCC. So accordingly we have to plot input and output characteristics by taking constant on output side and by taking constant on input side. Okay, some examples are given here. Find the value of beta if alpha equal to 0.9, alpha equal to 0.98, and alpha equal to 0.99. So we know beta equal to alpha 1 minus alpha. So just put this first value 0.9, 1 minus 0.9, so that is 9. Beta equal to alpha 1 minus alpha, then just alpha equal to 0.98, substitute here. So we'll get 49. And for beta, this is for 0.99, it is 99. Okay. Now calculate IE in transistor for which beta is given, IB is given 20 microampere. So beta IB is given, we need to find emitter current. So we know the relation beta is equal to IC upon IB. Okay, so IC is equal to beta IB, so that is 1 milliampere, and IE equal to IB plus IC, so 0.02 plus 1, that is 1.02 milliampere. Now sometimes will be given like this in data. IB current is given 240 microampere. Okay, and beta is given 49, and this I is given 12 milliampere. So find the alpha rating of the transistor. Hence determine the value of IC using both alpha and beta rating of transistor. So first we need to find alpha, then find out this collector current. So according to the given data, we know the relation beta is equal to 1 upon 1 minus alpha. So we can write alpha equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. Can we write this? Beta is equal to 1 upon 1 minus alpha. So we can write alpha equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. So beta is given here. So here we can get alpha 0.98. Okay. Now for the given alpha and beta, find out the collector current. So we know the relation IC is equal to alpha I. Okay, or you can find out the by other IC is equal to beta IB. Okay, for by current amplification factor either alpha or beta. So you here for the both you have to find IC. So here IC for alpha, IC for beta, you will get the same value. Okay. Any query, doubt for this example? Just you need to know relation. So according to the given data, just apply those expression or relation. So you'll get the answer. So don't be confused if this diagram is given. It is nothing but it is converted in terms of drawing IB, beta, IE, IC. Okay. Any doubt for finding alpha, IC, IE, IB? So by knowing the relation, you will get it. So just that's why this amplification factor is important, because you can see this will be helpful in all the examples, this relation. Now common emitter characteristics. So this is IB, input current, and this VB, or you can say VBB, that is your bias voltage. Okay, so IB, that is in microampere, this is in volt. So we are taking VB along x-axis, IB along y-axis. So input characteristic, it is nothing but it is the curve between base current and base emitter voltage at constant collector emitter voltage VC. So that is on output side. Okay. So just we are measuring. If you are making variation in on input side battery, then what happen in terms of base current, and what is the effect of this voltage on that is on output side. So is there any effect on this base current? So that we are checking. So in the characteristics, we have here 2 points that is written the characteristics that resembles that of forward bias diode curve. So you can see the current that is increases here. You can see it is almost near to the linear curve. So when we increase this VB, IB is also increases. Okay. So since the base emitter section of transistor that means we are similarly getting the characteristics of diode, so that uh, current is initially increases very slowly. After that, it increases sharply. Now, as compared to this CB arrangement, IB that increases less rapidly with VB. Therefore, input resistance of C circuit is higher than that of CB circuit. So by comparing with CB arrangement, IB increases less rapidly with VB. Therefore, input resistance of CE circuit is higher than that of CB circuit. So here, in the variation of VB, this IV current means comparatively to the CB, it increases slowly compared to this CB. So that's why this the resistance of input circuit of common emitter is higher compared to this CB arrangement. Whereas in CE arrangement, uh, the resistance of output circuit is moderate compared to the common base connections. Okay, so that's why we can couple or connect number of transistor back to back. So this is the advantage of common emitter connection. So we can connect transistor. You have also heard Darlington pair. So in that two transistors are connected by back-to-back emitter connections. Or in push-pull amplifications, we can connect this transistor input resistance. So it is nothing but the change in this base voltage to the change in base current VB delta VB upon delta IB. Okay, at constant VC. So from the characteristics, you can write directly this input resistance delta VB upon delta IB. Okay, similar to the common base. Then output characteristics, so that is IC versus VC by keeping constant IB. Okay, that is 5 microampere. So anyone can say me what from the characteristics what we can say? From the characteristics, what we can say? Is IC depend on IB or it depend on VC? Anyone? According to output characteristics, what we can say? ICs depend on VC or IB? You can see here, suppose I am making variation in VC. So for the small voltage, just we have variation of IC. Otherwise, you can say it becomes constant. Otherwise, it becomes constant. So we can say means up to one volt, it IC depends on VC, but above 1, IC depends on the IB. Okay. You can say this, it becomes constant. You can also see here at 5 microampere means up to this IC, there is variation in IC, but it becomes constant. Same for here, there is some variation, but it becomes constant. Okay. So for the small voltage means 0 to 1 volt, that IC depends on VC, but after that IC that depends on the base current. So it is the curve between this collector current and collector emitter voltage we see at constant base current. Okay. So the collector current IC varies with VC for VC between 0 to 1 volt only. After this, collector current becomes almost constant and it is independent of VC but dependent on this base current. Okay, so above knee voltage, IC is almost constant. I will tell you this what is knee voltage. Okay, so IC is almost constant, and however a small increase in IC with increases VC caused by the collector depletion layer that getting wider and capturing few more majority carriers before electron hole combination occur in base area. So output resistance, it is nothing but change in this VC to the change in collector current at constant IB. So when you draw this input and output characteristics, you need to write this, you need to draw these characteristics, you need to draw this, you need to write these points, and you need to write this input and output resistance equation. Okay. Any doubt for these characteristics?
No, sir.
Okay, knee voltage, it is nothing but the initial voltage we require to break depletion layer. So after that, current increases very sharply. That depends, okay. But here we are taking three quantity. So here I see that not depends on VC up to this. So it depends on IB. So that's why it becomes constant. But in PN junction, after breaking up depletion layer means after new voltage, current rising sharply, almost linear curve. Okay. So that is a knee voltage. So it is the minimum forward voltage at which current increases sharply. So that is the knee voltage. This is the common collector configurations. So we have make here collector common. This is the base, that is your input, and this is your emitter, that is on output side. Okay, this is your uh, NPN, and this is your PNP transistor. So here we need to find amplification factor gamma. So gamma is it is nothing but output current to the input current. Okay, so here output current is IE and input current is IB. So gamma is equal to delta E upon delta IB. So there is one relation between gamma and alpha. So gamma is equal to delta E upon delta IB, whereas alpha equal to delta IC upon delta E. So we know I is equal to IB plus IC. So delta I equal to delta IB plus delta IC. So we can write delta IB equal to delta I minus delta IC. Now substitute the values of delta IB in equation of 1 gamma. So gamma is delta I upon delta IB. So delta IB equal to this delta I minus delta IC. Okay. Now dividing the numerator and denominator of RHS by delta I. So gamma is equal to delta I upon delta I minus delta IC upon delta I. Whereas alpha equal to delta IC upon delta IE. So we can write 1 upon 1 minus alpha. So gamma is equal to 1 upon 1 minus alpha. Okay. Beta is equal to what? Relation between beta and alpha.
Beta is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha.
Yes, beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha. Suppose I want to write alpha is equal to what in terms of beta?
Beta upon 1 plus beta.
Yes, beta upon 1 plus beta. So gamma is equal to 1 upon 1 minus alpha. Okay. So expression for collector current. So we already proved this IC equal to alpha E plus ICBO. And also we know I equal to IB plus IC. So IB plus this, substitute this IC, alpha E plus ICBO. So I 1 minus alpha equal to IB plus ICBO, shifting this alpha I on LHS. So we have this. So I equal to IB upon 1 minus alpha plus ICB upon 1 minus alpha. Okay. But we know IC is equal to IE. So we can write this. So expression for collector current for common collector configuration, IC is equal to beta plus 1 means 1 upon 1 minus alpha, that is beta plus 1 IB plus this 1 upon 1 minus alpha means beta plus 1 ICBO. Okay. We can say beta equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha, but here 1 upon 1 minus alpha, so that is called beta plus 1. Okay. So here also we can write 1 upon 1 minus alpha, that is beta plus 1. into ICBO. So this is the expression for collector current for common collector configurations. Commonly used transistor connections. So we use in almost 90 to 95% of transistor applications common emitter configuration because it is most efficient compared to other configurations. We are getting high current gain, means we are getting more current, more voltage, power. Okay, so in common emitter configuration, IC is the output current and IB is the input current. So in this circuit, a collector current is given by IC is equal to beta IB plus ICO. So as the value of beta is very large, that is 20 to 500. So this amplification factor is multiplied with this base current. So and beta is very large, therefore output current IC is much more than input current IB. So hence the current gain in CRN is very high. It may ranges from 20 to 500, this beta amplification factor. Where alpha is up to only 0.99. Okay. High voltage and power gain. So due to high current gain, the common emitter circuit has the highest voltage and power gain of three these transistor connections. So this is a major reason for using the transistor in this circuit arrangement. Gain is nothing but the amplification is done, so we are getting the more value. Okay. So by from the amplifications, this we can define gain. Means amplification is done, so that's why we are getting the signal is amplified and we are getting more current, power, and voltage. And in moderate output impedance ratio, in common emitter circuit, the ratio of output impedance to impedance is almost small, and this makes this circuit arrangement an ideal for coupling between various transistor stages. So we can couple number of transistors due to having this less resistance on output side. Okay. So however, in the other connection, the ratio of output to impedance is very large. Hence, coupling becomes highly inefficient due to gross mismatching. If your output resistance is more, so you can't connect another transistor because the output of first that becomes input of second. Okay, so that's why it is become inefficient for other configuration, whereas here we have moderate output impedance ratio. So coupling is possible, means we can connect number of transistors or we can make various transistor stages in common emitter connection. Okay. Now one PN junction characteristics is remaining, so that I am showing you. I have also one sad book, that is Principle of Electronics, VK Mehta. So that is I have uploaded in Microsoft Team. So suppose you have free time, then some basic concepts of all the electronics that is given and in unit number 1, 2, 3. Okay, so in free time you can read those electronics concept. So that will be helpful when you operate this any Arduino board, any Raspberry board. Okay, so that will be helpful. Or if you're operating any electronics component for interfacing with programming, so it will be helpful to you. Okay, wait for the lecture. Okay, I'm showing you PN junction characteristics. Okay, is it visible, this characteristics?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the characteristics. So you can see this VF, that is forward voltage, this IF is forward current, and this VR is reverse current, this IR is also a reverse current, this reverse voltage, reverse current. As we know, in electronics, in semiconductor, due to minority carriers, current is flowing in the reverse directions. So we are getting a small current in reverse direction, that is given in microampere, whereas it is given, this is given milliampere, okay, this forward current. So this is the PN junction characteristics, okay. So you can see this in forward region, initially current increases very slowly. Why it is increases very slowly? Because we have to break the depletion layer, okay. So after the breaking of depletion layer, after this A point, current increases very sharply. So you can see between A and B, we are getting the SAR curve, whereas between this point O to A, current increases very slowly due to this depletion layer. So up to this point A, it is called the knee voltage. So it is the forward voltage at which uh, current increases very sharply. Okay. Same way you can see in reverse direction, current increases very means slowly on reverse direction. But after the breakdown voltage, current increases very sharply. Okay. So after this point, your PN junction diode is going to destroy it. Okay, we haven't any external arrangement for this PN junction. Okay, so at breakdown voltage, your PN junction is going to complete destroyed. Okay, so that I will show you this breakdown voltage. It is nothing but it is a minimum reverse voltage. Breakdown means it is minimum reverse voltage at which PN junction breaks down with sudden rise in reverse current. So you can see after this point, current rising, okay, means sharply. So breakdown voltage it is nothing, it is the minimum reverse voltage. In Zener diode, we can operate generally in reverse bias because there is external resistance is connected that limit this current. Okay, so it is not going to burn or destroy. Whereas in PN junction diode, after reaching the breakdown voltage, current increases sharply in reverse direction, so that may destroy the diode. Okay, so in PN junction, you can see initially we have zero current. So in first case, in first point, zero external voltage, mean initially we have no voltage. So when the external voltage is zero, means circuit is open. You can see circuit is open at zero voltage. The potential barrier at the junction does not permit current flow. So initially we have depletion layer is there. So there is no flowing of current or there is no movement of electrons and holes. Therefore, circuit current is zero, indicated by point O. Okay. In second point, we can say in forward bias, with forward bias to the PN junction, that means P type connected to the positive, N type connected to negative, the potential barrier is reduced, or depletion layer that is we are breaking the depletion layer. So at some forward voltage, means for the silicon we need 0.7 volt, and for the means 0.7 volt for silicon and 0.3 volt for germanium, the potential barrier is altogether eliminated. Okay, so current starts flowing in the circuits. So initially we need the voltage for to break this potential barrier or break this depletion layer. Okay, for silicon we need 0.7 volt, for germanium we need 0.3 volt. And after that, you can see from now onwards, the current increases with the increase in forward voltage. Thus, rising curve OB is obtained with forward bias. So this is the rising curve OB, okay. From the forward curve, it is seen that first region OA, the current increases very slowly and the curve is nonlinear. It is because the external applied voltage is used to overcoming the potential barrier. However, once the external voltage exceeds the potential barrier voltage, the PN junction behaves like an ordinary conductor. So after this, you can see it is current increase sharply, so it act as an conductor. So therefore, the current rises very sharply with increase in external voltage. The curve is almost linear in the region A, B. Okay, so in forward, any doubt? Any doubt for this forward characteristics? Now for this reverse characteristics. Okay. Now reverse bias. So in reverse bias, we know P is connected with negative, N is connected with positive. So we have some minority carriers in P and N. Due to movement of these minority carriers, we have current in reverse directions. Okay. So with reverse bias to the PN junction, that means P-type connected with negative, N-type connected with positive, potential barrier at the junction is increased. Now in reverse bias, this depletion layer is increased. Okay, so there is no movement of this electron and holes, but there is some movement of this minority carriers. So therefore, the junction resistance becomes very high and practically no current flows through the circuit. But however, in practice, very small current in order of microampere flows in the circuit with reverse bias. Okay, so this is called the reverse saturation current and is due to the minority carriers. So it may be recalled that there are free few electrons in p-type material and few holes in n-type material. This is undesirable free electrons in p-type and holes in n-type are called the minority carriers. So these minority carriers, the applied reverse bias appears as forward bias. Therefore, small current flows in the reverse directions. So if the reverse voltage is increased continuously, the kinetic energy of electrons, means these minority carriers, may become high enough to knock out electrons from the semiconductor atoms. So at this stage, breakdown of the junction occurs and characterized by sudden rise of reverse current. So if we increase this reverse voltage then continuously, then there will be rise in this reverse current. So we know we will reach at the breakdown voltage, and after that there is sudden rise of current. Okay, so your PN junction, that this may destroy the junction permanently. Okay, so this is your PN junction characteristics. So you have to explain this characteristics. Okay, in initially what happened at this at O point in forward and reverse. Okay, I am showing you this okay, this is your depletion layer that we have to break, or you can say potential barrier. This is V0. Okay, so after breaking this, we are having this movement of electron and holes. So current conduction that will take place. Okay, I'm showing you this. Okay, this is the knee voltage. So it is the forward voltage at which the current through the junction starts to increase rapidly. So in the diagram, you can see this is silicon, this is germanium. So we need 0.7 volt to break this. So this is your knee voltage, okay? And this is your knee voltage 0.3. After that, current increases very sharply. So it is the forward voltage at which current start increasing rapidly. Okay? So understood this knee voltage and breakdown voltage? Knee voltage means current increases sharply in forward direction. Breakdown voltage means it is a minimum voltage at which current increases in reverse directions. So this may destroy your diode. Okay? Any query, doubt? Hello? Any doubt, any query for this?
No, sir.
Okay. So just we have left only three definition: modulation, demodulation, and bandwidth. Okay. Our syllabus is completed. Only three definition is left. So that I will discuss during the laboratory session. Okay.